Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's another GMCCI advocacy podcast. Meet the candidates. My name is Tony Loconsole with MPW, and if I'm being fully transparent, this is the last one that we are filming. So that is lucky number 10. And I'm delighted to be here with City Council member Angie Lewis, who is at large. It's good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Oh my goodness, please. I have to give a shout out to Mayor Bark, who had reached out and asked if this would be something I'd be interested in. My boss and my team at MPW said, yep. And here we are. So yeah, and it's a beautiful day. We're recording this on, Thursday, October 23rd, my watch says.
That's correct.
Blue sky outside, and we're inside the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry offices. So Angie Lewis, let's do this. We'll have you introduce yourself,
Sure.
Give some background, professional experience, and then what inspired you maybe to run the first time, because this is second time?
Second time. That's correct. Yep.
Second time. So by all means.
Awesome. I'm Angie Lewis. This is home. Muscatine is home. I was actually born just outside of south of Ripley's Trailer Court, that farmhouse that's there that's now has those boats on it. It used to have a great sled hill. It made me sad when I moved back and saw that they flattened out the sled hill. Was here for a while. My parents got divorced. I moved away, came back probably early 90s when Muscatine didn't look so good. I think we can all relate to that. Moved away, have always been in Iowa living. Moved to like Texas and things like that. I think everybody should move away because then you appreciate Muscatine and Iowa when you come back. And then my dad lost his wife of 25 years, and he's lived in Muscatine all of his life. Asked me to come and live with him, so then I came here, and then I met the love of my life, and I'm staying. This will be where I put the stake in, I guess, is what I would say. I'm done moving around, so I'm here to stay, and it's such a great city. So.
Yeah.
Professionally, I'm a nurse by trade. I also am part of the Christian Motorcycle Association. So my husband and I, you'll see us out on our bikes on occasion all over the country. And I've been a nurse for over 30 years.
Wow.
Have actually held positions at the Iowa Stroke Task Force.
Nice.
So, and I started that in 2007.
Okay.
Where we actually took stroke care statewide and actually drove to make sure that every resident in the state got the standard of care for stroke. So that's kind of my passion and my love. And that's why when you see some of the things I say stem from my career, meaning that I truly believe when, people can come together, it's better for the whole. So
Yeah. This is not political or any part of this, but my mom's dad, my late grandpa Bill, had quite a few strokes.
Yep.
Starting when I was a freshman in high school, and then would recover and suffered from aphasia, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Folks at home may not. Just a little quick thing. You're trying to say one thing, pass me the pen, and you're saying, pass me the salt shaker.
Right.
Maybe not the best analogy, but so strokes were unfortunately a part of my family, but I really appreciate hearing that. I don't think I knew that. So that's why I'm sharing this, because that really struck a chord with me. As long as we've known each other, I didn't know that. So thanks for advocating for those with strokes, because it can be a challenge.
It can be. Sure. And it's amazing when you look at stroke care, how it's kind of evolved, kind of like cities have evolved.
Yeah.
30 years ago when I became a stroke nurse, it was like, oh, come with stroke, we'll get a nursing, get the nursing home ready and we'll go. And now we have things, if you get to the hospital quick enough, we can take the stroke out.
Wow.
I know, it's just amazing where we've come.
Well, thanks for that. Yep. That's incredible. All right, I guess we'll get to our questions.
I know, sorry.
No, but that's powerful stuff. Yep. So we have 10 questions for Angie. She got these ahead of time. I've said this about everybody. We're going to run through these. The goal is to make you the most informed voter as possible. Early voting going on now, Election Day, November 4th. As I've said again, I'm old school. I like to vote on Election Day. Get the little sticker. It's a fun thing.
Everybody likes the sticker. I know the one year that I worked the polls and we didn't have the sticker. Ooh, people were okay voting, but man, they wanted that sticker.
They want the scratch and sniff. I voted. It smells like freedom. That's maybe a fun idea.
Oh,
anyways, our first question, Angie, what do you see as the most pressing issue facing Muscatine today, and how would you address it?
Sure. Probably the most pressing thing is making sure that we have adequate housing for everybody. I think when I've been out, especially with the growth potential that's going on right now with, Kent Corp making us worldwide Kent Corp. We've got younger families moving in, and we need to make sure that we address those, that those housing is available for them as well. Would like to see, especially like with me becoming the more mature, I don't want to say aged, but I'm getting there. To make sure that we're looking out for that group as well as, they transition from a house that maybe has 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. They now no longer need that. And, can we get it so we have like zero entry housing where, it's like things are a little bit easier for us more mature Muscatines. So, but it's like those are kind of the things that I'm looking at when I look at Muscatine as a whole. Our city's beautiful. We've got lots of amenities where people can go out and enjoy and walk. But it's just, I think the housing is probably my main focus right now. And I think overall the city and the city administrator is very aware of that, which helps us as far as city council. Makes our job a little easier. We have a great city administrator right now. So
yeah, that's good. I like that. Second question, how do you plan to engage with and represent the various diverse voices throughout the broader community as at large? That's everybody.
That's everybody.
That's everybody for you. So how would you answer that question, Angie?
Well, the one thing I want to make sure is that residents understand that, when you go to the website, the city website, that phone number is my phone number. I can tell you that when I was a nurse, I used to give patients that phone number, and people were like, well, why are you giving people that phone number? And it's like, because when people have questions, they want they want it answered now. So I want the residents to know that when you dial that number, that is my cell phone. Realize that I do work, so I do have a 40-hour job on top of this. So sometimes it may be leave a message and I'll get back to you. I've always gotten back to people when they've called. So that's the big thing is make sure the doors are open. Of course, I'm out in the public. I shop at Hy-Vee, or Walmart or Fairway.
Sure.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
And you have those incidental questions when you're out shopping. And unfortunately, when I don't have makeup on and I look like a little, because I've been working in the yard, that's when I run into people. So, but that's okay, right? That's the true me. So.
Yeah. You are a real person.
Yes, I am.
I appreciate you saying that because you are. And hey, you ran, you understand, but yeah, people see that's so funny that you said that because I've had that throughout my life and the different jobs I've had. One of my favorite stories was still in the Quad Cities. I was at Target once with my mom in Davenport, and we were checking out, and the cashier, and I looked awful. The cashier was like, "Are you?" And I said, "No, I'm an accountant." And my mom was like, "No, you're not. You work on the radio." And I was like, "Thanks, Mom. I have sweatpants on and I look like I didn't sleep." So.
And it's funny because it's like, I don't know why as a society we put officers, meaning
sure,
at a different level. And I can remember, here's a story for you. Was actually going to a Enduro conference and ran into Senator Harkin.
Oh, sure. Tom Harkin.
Yep. Yeah. And actually sat there, had a conversation with him. And I know he was very pro-nurse. So I was thanking him for that. And so the nurse I was with was like, "Man, how long have you known Tom Harkin?" I said, "About 15 minutes. And she's like, "I can't believe you went up and talked to him." And I said, "Well, people need to understand we work for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we should be able to question it. And I mean, I always tell people, talk to me. If you're going to yell at me, I probably will say, call me back when you're a little calmer because I want us to have a conversation, not it be a yelling match."
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yep.
All right. Third question. What is your approach to balancing economic development with environmental sustainability in Muscatine? Obviously, in my 13 years, things have changed a lot when I think about economic development and growth. But how would you tackle that question, Angie?
Well, and I think the thing is I mean, right now we're balancing it, right? We've got housing that we really need, and I know we've got green spaces, and we've got the dome that's up, and that's going to bring some more people into our city. So I think it's just a matter of looking at what the needs are and making sure that we've got a beautiful riverfront. Yeah. I would never want that riverfront to go away. Weed Park, beautiful park. It's been there. I can remember when Dolly the elephant was there.
Gosh,
Does that bring back memories? And And it's like, I look at the different spaces that we have, Kentstein Park, and those things. So it's making sure that we keep our city looking fresh. We don't want it to look like downtown New York, right?
Sure.
We want to keep it balanced.
I just want to say just the work that has been done at Weed Park looks phenomenal. I mean, wow, just a wow. And I'm a person that pays attention, watches council meetings, et cetera. But just seeing that work, like 10 out of 10 to everybody involved.
Especially
it really
the pond,
looks great.
pond where they drained it. It was like, I know when they were telling us about they had to get all the fish out and they just basically opened it up so people go down and fish.
Right.
I was like, well, how many people had a big, huge fish fry? So, because I know some of the fish in there were pretty doggone big, right? So,
What a great project
but it is
that was.
beautiful down there.
Yeah,
So,
it looks really good.
Yep.
Our fourth question is and again, you've touched on this with the phone number and seeing people, how would you ensure transparency and accountability in city government?
Sure. Well, the big thing is, I know for me, it's like, because I live here, right? And you live here, and we need to know what's going on. And it's like, I always tell people when I have a conversation with them that, this isn't just my city or the mayor's city, it's our city. And, as the 7 of us sit up there in council, do we always agree? Not always. But the thing is overall, it's like, none of us, I've never heard a council member say, well, I don't want the best things for Muscatine. So it's bringing different viewpoints and being able to look at the options and making sure that we make the best choice for all of those involved. Yep.
That's a good answer. Question 5, halfway point.
Okay.
Can you believe it? So that's my time to say, if you're just joining us, you're watching the GMCCI Advocacy Podcast, Meet the Candidates, Tony Tone Loconsole with MPW, Angie Lewis, at-large city council member, City of Muscatine, seeking re-election. Early voting is open. Election day, November 4th. Question 5, what role should the city council play in supporting public safety and emergency services?
Oh, boy. That's a real hot one for me because it's like, as a nurse, I feel that that's extremely important. It's like, I know last budget season was tough. It was tough. And my commitment is I want to make sure that the police department, the fire department have the necessary things to do their job and do them well. I would never want to hear a person come to me and say, hey, we had somebody stuck in the car and we didn't have the equipment to get them out. I don't ever want to hear, well, it took 30 minutes for the police department to get there because there weren't enough police on the street. And, overall, I mean, looking at it from the level that we get at council, I can't say enough about, Chief Hartman. He's wonderful. He's brought great unity into the fire department. So very thankful for him. Chief Keys, of course, is, you can't just love the guy. I mean, it's like, he's a straight shooter. He's going to tell you how he feels. And, I know he loves Muscatine as well. So, I never want to have to say to somebody, well, we're sorry we didn't keep you safe. That should be number one. I don't care who you are in this city. We should be able to walk on our streets and feel safe at night. That's
a good answer. And I agree. Chief Tony Keys is my second favorite Tony, besides Tony Danza. Just kidding. Chief Keys and I have a great...
You're dating yourself with Tony Danza, right?
He went to the University of Dubuque, I believe, Tony Danza. Anyways, we could be here all day, friends. Chief Keys and I are friends, by the way. I say that with a lot of love. Question number 6. How do you plan to collaborate with other city, and we've talked about this a little bit, other city council members, city staff, and then community organizations? Because there's a lot of different stakeholders and people involved and entities involved.
You are absolutely correct. With me, it's like we've kind of already talked about council and the city. The nice thing with the new direction with the city administrator, there's no longer this barrier between directors and city people that work. We can talk to them a little more freer, and hopefully they feel okay to come talk to us, and they aren't scared to talk to us. So thank you to our new city administrator for providing that new environment. I think that's definitely key. Whenever you're scared to talk to city council, That's not a good thing. You should never be fearful to call somebody on city council. Okay, I lost my train of thought. What was the question exactly?
Community
Oh, community
organizations.
organizations. We have lots of community organizations, and it's like, I think the thing is like I said before, we work better together. If we can come to a goal where, if community housing needs to be done, then, okay, how can we do this together? Where it's not one entity pushing or, their vision. It's like if we could come together for one vision that encapsulates the whole city versus it be one entity's vision. And I think, as we look at the city Muscatine as a whole, I think if we start looking at different entities together, then we can push that quicker, I think.
Yeah, we've seen
reach
that.
those goals.
I mean, just this week, just as an aside, talk about public-private partnerships, H&I gifting parcel of land to the city to
huge.
develop
Yep.
what? Houses. What do we need?
Yep.
House. I mean, that's just like, again, that's just something that happened this week. And, Muscatine has a lot of things that happen here that are special that really maybe don't happen elsewhere because of these strong public-private partnerships and these various sectors, as Angie said, kind of coming together. And
We're very fortunate that we live in Muscatine. We just don't realize how fortunate we are.
Yes, I do. I'm not going anywhere.
There you go.
13 years and it's not going. Yeah. Especially when you get the historic house. It's harder to go.
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyways, question number 7. What is your vision for infrastructure improvements, roads, utilities, different things like that across Muscatine?
Sure. When we look at those kinds of things, I think once we get the road structure down, I always tell people, I said, nobody realizes what the city, dump does until they don't show up and grab your garbage, right?
True story.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's making sure that all of those things are in place, making sure the sewer lines are, open and working correctly. They've done that huge project regarding the sewer separation. That's going to make things better in the long run. I know it's been kind of a heartache this last year with all the rain that we got. Overall, looking further down the line, all those improvements are gonna make it better, you know. But it's just, it's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? And it's like, addressing those issues, working with our partners to make sure that, we don't ever have an issue where it's like, oh my gosh, my electric's not working because we've overtaxed the grid and we weren't ready for it. So it's kind of looking at those things to make sure that we're forward thinking and not reactive, but proactive.
Yeah. And I'll just throw a shameless plug. I've done this a couple times. See Click Fix, Muscatine Connect.
Wonderful.
Something's going on. Alley needs a little TLC. Maybe a vehicle near your house hasn't moved for a while. That is a phenomenal service, Angie. I have used it over a dozen times. I always do it anonymously. And man, the city does a great job of assigning things and they get fixed, and it's just
Are you afraid there's going to be repercussions if you give them?
No, I just don't. Here's the thing. And I say this with no ego, but I just, and I would never expect or want any preferential treatment. I just do it anonymously for just because of that. I just want to experience it so that I can do this, just endorse that See Click Fix. And I've just continued to be so impressed with the responsiveness and how everybody gets in on, we had a crack in our alley and like a day and a half later, they're filling it. It's like, that's fantastic.
I always like the positives because you don't always get those. So,
well, it's always easy. And again, this is just me. It's always easy to go low or negative.
Right.
It's tough to go positive.
Absolutely.
And that, my experience with that See Click Fix has just been positive. So
Wonderful.
I hope we keep that forever. Question number 8, how would you approach budgeting and fiscal responsibility for city expenditures? It's a big question.
It is a big question, and I think it's looking at, like I said, this last year was it was tough. And it's, learning. I can tell you, it's funny because people be like, well, you just spent X amount of dollars on some equipment for public works. And it's trying to make everyone understand that there's buckets of money. So I can't take money from the road use tax, which is a lot of the stuff that goes to public works, and put it in the general fund. So when you look at general fund, you're looking at tax dollars. So it's being able to look at those and saying, okay, how do we get, if public safety is where our focus needs to be, is there enough money in general fund to make that happen? And if it's not, how do we balance that? Because it's like everybody, I always tell people, there's two ways to fix things. We can either increase taxes, which nobody wants to do, or we can increase, hopefully housing, and that way you've got income or industry. So there's a tax base that we can use. So when you see people or see us building houses, there's a reason for that, because it's like if we can get that tax base up, then we don't have to raise taxes, right?
Yeah.
So it's a balance. And I can tell you, 4 years ago when I first ran for city council, I was just a nurse. I don't want to say just, but I was a nurse, right?
Sure.
And I can tell you, I've done a lot of time educating myself on city government, and I encourage everybody, even if you're not ever going to run for city council, take the time to get to, do some studying, educate yourself, so you kind of understand, so it doesn't look like we've got this big, huge, broad paintbrush that we're spending, people's money. I think as far as the budget itself goes, as far as an individual, I think about the stress that we have doing budgets, and then to realize that as a city council member, I'm entrusted to everyone's dollars, and making sure that I'm mindful of that, which I am at all times, and making sure that, that quarter that somebody spent is used wisely.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot to manage. That's for sure. Question number 9, what is your stance? And again, talked about this, affordable housing, and how would you support housing initiatives? We've gone over a lot of this, but and anything else you'd like to add maybe is appropriate.
I really don't have too much more to add. It's just, the big thing is, as housing is huge, and it's like we have to have houses for people to stay. Otherwise they're going to live somewhere else. Right. We've kind of talked about, people that live in Muscatine, work somewhere else. We have people that live somewhere else and come into Muscatine, and it's like, why aren't they here? Why would you want to travel? Well, part of it is there's not enough housing. So, and it's doing that balance, I think, going forward.
Absolutely. We're at our last question.
Yay.
Wow.
No, I'm joking. I love spending time with Tony. It's all right.
That's awesome. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So question number 10, how will you measure success during your term if reelected? I guess you just alluded to how things were when you came in 4 years ago. So maybe let's spin it this way. What are you proud of? And then what would you like to do if so reelected come election day, November 4th?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think the thing is we just have to, to me, growth is huge.
Yeah.
So when I look at what decisions I'm making in council, it's like, I realize you and I've talked, I always tell people this, I'm going to die here. So whatever decisions I'm making from the bench, I have to live with. And so does everybody else. I have no plans on moving to Florida when I become 65. My husband and I love the change of seasons. So we're not going anywhere. But I think the biggest success is to get to the point where it's like, I'm pretty proud of Muscatine right now. I've been here through when it was just a little town and all the railroad tracks were downtown, to being here when it wasn't so nice, when we had a gang issue in downtown, that the city, police department did a wonderful job cleaning that up, to being here now where it's like, I'm proud to be in Muscatine. There's lots of things that are happening. There's growth. I think to say for myself, to get to the end of, however many, I know I always laugh because I tell Nadine, it's like, Nadine's like, okay, I think I'm not going to run this time. It's like, but you do it so well, Nadine. So, but I think it's like building those relationships, making sure that the overall vision of Muscatine stays intact, that we don't get sidetracked.
It's a good answer. I feel the same way. I feel very proud. I've had opportunities to leave, not going anywhere. It's my wife's hometown, charmed me 13 years ago, here for the long run. And so much has changed, and change is okay. Change is tough.
Change is very tough.
Change is okay.
Yep.
And I like what you said. You have to live with the decisions you make. That is a profound statement. That is, I hear you when you say that. You are making decisions that you live with because you live here.
Yep. And I'm
like that.
right almost in the heart of Muscatine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, listen, you've done a great job with this interview. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you
Yep.
to Mayor Bark and the Chamber for letting us have this space. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, like I've said to everybody, it takes a lot to seek office, to make that decision, to put yourself out there. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
And remember, early voting is going on now. Election day is November 4th. You've been watching the GM Advocacy Podcast, Meet the Candidates. Angie Lewis, council member at large, seeking re-election. Tony Loconsole, MPW, a guy talking into a microphone, not seeking office, just talking. It's been great to see you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And this is the last one. So thanks for watching. I hope you feel more informed as you make your decisions. And please just vote. I don't care who you vote for, just vote.
Yep.
Please vote. That's all I want to say. Thank you again for this opportunity. Thanks for watching. And I will, well, you and I are both out and about a lot, so we'll see each other soon, and we'll see everybody out there soon as well. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.